Yes, that is what I'm talking about right there, everybody. This is so bullish. It's bullish. There's nothing else to say. I could end the live stream right there. Hit the subscribe and the like on the way, and let's just get into this. I saw crypto dipping. I was like just about to go work out. I needed a break from the day, and I see crypto starts kind of crashing a little bit. I'm like, shoot. I'm telling my wife, I gotta go do a video. I'm always trying to hop on when we're seeing crypto moon. And I also like to catch the opposite when crypto is crashing. And especially at this moment, this is very relevant time for all of us as crypto holders. So let's dive into the video. It's going to be a little all over the place. I didn't sit down and really plan too much. I wanted to go live, but appreciate you if you're in the live chat, whether you're on X or YouTube, whatever it is. I want to start by just setting the tone, especially if you're new here. I like dips. That's not new information about me, okay? Especially in bull markets. In bear markets, they're very painful. In bull markets, they're very exciting. That's the difference. So I just posted this when we started dipping. Embrace the dips. We need them. It's just the truth. If you go to any chart, we can just look at a Bitcoin chart on the weekly. If you look at any bull move, if you look at any bull cycle, it's just a 100% fact when it comes to bull markets. Throughout even parabolic moves, you will see red candles, especially on the daily chart. And I think that is where things become more relevant to us. I want to move this over so that I can see what's going on over here in the chat and everything. I just want to make sure that I am being able to, my audio is working and everything. So that's number one. That's my number one rule. And then this is really more in line with the actual analysis that we're going to do. The really looking at the charts. This is a post from only 5 days ago. We were getting a little bit of a dip, right? We saw this is a daily chart. We were seeing some red candles on the total crypto market cap chart, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's what that is. And I just said, finally seeing some relevant dip action. It'll sound crazy, but I want to see lower. And I said, and this is where it comes into play, another 10 to 20% is fine with me. And now here we are. This is really what I want to talk about. If we go look at that chart, the total crypto market cap, there it is zoomed out. But if we zoom in on it, this is what it looks like now. So I'm guessing we were somewhere over here. We're starting to put in some red daily candles. You can see over there. That's nice because I just like to see continuing just to pull into the 20-day in a bull environment, and even between the two, meaning between the 20 and the 50-day in a bull market. So here's the move now. This is even more healthy in my view. And I want to say emphatically right now, I'm not so sure that the move is over. So let's pace ourselves, and we're going to look at altcoin charts in this video, by the way. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at altcoin charts as well because they're just, a little bit more volatile, obviously. But I wouldn't be so sure the move is over. Sometimes we can get faked out with a really nice looking wick like that. If you change this to an hourly, let's just change it to a 30-minute. You can see, oh man, look at that wick. Like, that's crazy. Look at that bounce. It's a beautiful bounce from that swing low of the candle to where we are. We're looking at almost a 10% bounce. Like, that was it. That was it. Did you buy the dip? Let's go. We're bouncing out of here. I wouldn't be so quick to think that. When we start looking at some charts, there are some targets that have not been hit. This could very well be it, but I would be a little bit careful on the shorter term. That's just me. Now, in relation to the move itself, though, you can see when I posted this the other day, I said another 10 to 20% to the downside would be comfortable. And you can see it's between the 50 in blue, that 50-day moving average, and the green is a 20-day. It's in between the two. That speculative dip was around $840 billion market cap on the total crypto market cap chart. We wicked down to around 930 billion. So if this ends up, if that was it, right? I'd be very excited. I'd feel good about this in terms of continuation into the bull market. But again, I think there is more room for downside when you actually start looking into the zoomed in charts of what makes up this chart, and that is the altcoin market, right? You look at different altcoins and targets that are potentially there. So that's that. Now, before we really dive into kind of talking about charts, Bitcoin, ADA, XRP. I want to look at algo. Before we just look at some charts, I want to just, again, start with this. I'm going to be doing this probably a lot, especially the next couple of months leading into Q1. I'm not going to bring this up nonstop throughout the entire bull market, but right now with where we are in the cycle, I'm going to keep bringing it up, everybody. I was already bullish for the cycle. And by the way, that's going through and doing content every day through the bear market and trying to escape the bear market. I was already bullish. But with what's happening right here, it's next level. Pro-crypto president in January 2025. Don't forget it. US BTC reserve that's in play. Could you imagine 200,000 Bitcoin a year being purchased by the United States of America? Do you understand? Do you understand that? No crypto capital gains tax. People say that will never happen, but it's on the table. That's enough for me. Elon Musk running a US department called Doge. Pro-crypto Congress. Gensler resigning. He has resigned. MAGA goes global. Record ETFs. And there's more since I even posted this. This was mid-November. There's even more bullishness happening right now in terms of what we just covered in today's video. Microsoft, Amazon. So that's that, okay? I want to just put that into perspective as we start looking at just price action and looking at the cycle and comparing it to other cycles. So here's this post. I want to start here. It's just a really nice kind of like data-driven post that will help us segue into the charts. This is CryptoCon. Some people would argue that we're much closer to a Bitcoin top than you think. I would say we're further away. And I just 100% agree. And we've laid out timelines in our own charts talking about maybe October 2025 being more of a speculative end of the bull run. I don't even think that's really taking into consideration potential super cycle data, but just conservatively based on historical patterns, end of this year, fall of 2025. Like the True Strength Index and many other data pieces show, we're still at all-time levels, despite being over them in price. Think December 2012, 2016, or 2020. So he's mentioning those points, and he's taken this True Strength Index where we are in the phases of these cycles, and you can just see if you look where we are right now, right? And you can see there's a lot more upside in play. There will be dips in here, and we're going to track the dip. We're going to cover the dips on the altcoin charts and Bitcoin charts in this video, but zoomed out, you can kind of see what we're on trajectory for. He compares it to December 2020, December 2016, December 2012. I thought that was interesting because if you go to something like a Bitcoin dominance chart, I like to look at data that other people have and then look at like specific foundational pieces of data that I use. One of those pieces of data, obviously, and especially as it relates to altcoins, for me is altcoin season data, right? So previous two cycles, for instance, altcoin season beginning when Bitcoin dominance is falling. 2 cycles ago, altcoin season beginning, Bitcoin dominance falling. So I just thought it was, if we look at last cycle and the cycle before, and we look at what he's saying, right? So we're looking at December 2020, kind of he's comparing where we are now to December 2020. And then he's also comparing December 2016 to where we are now. If you go to this chart, you can see altcoin season was January 2021. So a month after where he's saying we are, that lines up pretty well, right? So I think taking his data that he has from a different perspective, aligning it with ours, it's kind of like, man, there really are multiple pieces of data that say this is right around where we are at this moment. And then he goes back and he goes December 2016, right? So that's right around here, a couple months before altcoin season starts. So even from that perspective, we're pretty much aligned, maybe off by a couple of months or so, but pretty much aligned in terms of where we are right now. So this is just more data. And the more and more I watch other analysts, and obviously in this case, CryptoCon and what he's talking about, the more I see other analysts pulling out these pieces of data that I've not so much covered, and then just kind of overlaying it with my own data that I rely on a lot. Well, it becomes even more, I think, reliable for me personally. So I like taking other analysts' data and doing that. So he's saying normal cycle timing remains on track, which suggests a top in late 2025. Everyone's thinking it so no one is. We're just beginning phase 4 of the TSI phases, the I guess true strength index phases. These lead into the first cycle top and have lasted until April to June. So you can see he's basically, I believe, talking about these blue squares, and he's saying that's kind of where we are right now. There'll be that first cycle top within this cycle, and then some type of retracement, I'm guessing, and then higher into that fifth phase of the cycle, which he's saying end of the year. Data seems to tell us that we are about to be pleasantly surprised this cycle, and I agree. And I was just on a Tom Crown live stream, and he was talking about almost the same exact thing. I don't know exactly where his data was coming from, but he's basically saying, I think a nice Q4, which we're in right now. I think he said a nice Q1 of 2025. He thinks Q2 and 3 might be tough, and then Q4 of 2025 going to be nice, right? And that plays into what we're seeing here on this chart as well. So all the data lining up very nicely. And again, I underline it all with this. Don't forget what's going on from a fundamental perspective. Don't forget what's making this cycle a little bit different. And truly it is solely from the Bitcoin supply shock perspective. We've always, the long-term thesis, I think, for Bitcoin people and even altcoin people has been supply shock, right? Last cycle, it was like, man, there's going to be epic supply shock. And to some degree there has been, but never has it been more true than right now. Previous cycles, it's been kind of speculative. But right now it's happening. And it might pick up steam very quickly. So let's look at Bitcoin charts. It's thing about Bitcoin, obviously altcoins, you just take a glance at something like, here's an ADA chart real quick. Altcoins way more volatile, right? Bitcoin kind of just hanging out. If you look at the daily chart, nice volatile move to the downside. Interesting update to my video from earlier today. I didn't think I was going to be really doing this type of live stream today after doing a video earlier, but we were watching this lower trend line on Bitcoin for support earlier, and within the matter of just recent hours, Bitcoin has fallen. Let me just change this to just so I can see. Bitcoin has fallen. Wow, look at that. Bitcoin fell below this trend line, and currently it's not so relevant on the hourly, but it's right there at the trend line, the bounce. Where it's really relevant is the wick on that daily chart. That's crazy. I want to see what a 4-hour looks like. Ooh, look at that. Look at that 4-hour wick. Would be insane if that was the bottom. Would be absolutely insane if that's the bottom. Because we got the breakout out of this pattern, just bouncing around at that lower trend line now after throwing back. That $110,000 target, very much in play. If this does prove to be the bottom. If it proves to be a busted pattern, and this is really what I wanted to talk about in the video, is there could be some more downside to this dip. I wouldn't be, going into this evening. It's Monday, December 9th. Maybe it's going to end up being just a brutal week for crypto. Just a slow grind down. And it might end up, zoomed out on let's just go to a Bitcoin weekly chart. One of those big red, weekly candles in the middle of a bull market. It could end up being that. It could be starting on this 4-hour chart. So busted pattern, meaning we break to the upside. We're not going to hit the target to the upside. We're going to fall back to the trend line, and we're just going to fall. The whole pattern will fail, and we actually hit the lower end target. It's in the mid 80s. It is in play. We've been talking about it, really just not being biased at all in terms of what could happen. We know the targets are just there. This is crypto. It's a volatile environment. So that target is normal if it were to be hit. If you go and we look at the weekly chart, this is something I brought up in today's video earlier, was remember where we are. And especially if you're an altcoin holder, because if Bitcoin were to just really have some steep consolidation in a very normal technical analysis way, what that would translate on an altcoin chart could look very scary if you don't understand what's happening, right? And what I mean by that is there's this massive inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin. This is a multi-year inverse head and shoulders. So to me, what this means is, first off, the targets to the upside, the target range, by the way, is 130 to upwards of 30,000 or 300,000. It's depending how you're measuring this target, whether you're going to use price or you're just going to do a measured move. But conservatively, you know, somewhere in that range is a target for Bitcoin. But because of the size of this pattern, it's not like a pattern that's going to hit a target like in a couple weeks or a couple months. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a whole bull cycle. But similarly, if we're going to get a technical pullback, which is very normal for these patterns, that's going to take a lot. It's going to take a while. So I always want to just keep in mind, and I'm not sure that this is going to happen, but I want to be open to it, that we do get a throwback into the 70s at that neckline area. That is very much in play, especially when we start really dissecting the zoomed in and we're just like, you know what? There's already the target in the mid 80s. Like a capitulation and a wick into the 70s is nothing. That could be the bottom. Like this bottoming out candle that we're looking for right now, this reversal, there's probably people even in the comments like, that was it. Did you buy it? We're bouncing. That was over. That whole vibe might actually be down here that happens. But again, I digress. We have to watch short term. Maybe this is it, and we get the support and we continue higher. Going back to the daily chart, going to be interesting to see where this daily candle closes. You can just see perfectly confluent with that lower trend line right there is the 20-day moving average, right? So bull market move, very normal. Pulling into the 20-day like it's doing right now and continuing higher. But if we go back and we zoom out, all the way back to last cycle, I will remind you, the other thing that's normal, besides just pulling into the 20-day, here's the last bull market, is also just falling in between the two, right? 20 and 50, in between the two. Here's Bitcoin in the last bull market, almost identical to where we are this cycle. You can see Bitcoin, altcoin season right here. Bitcoin went into this consolidation right in between the 20 and the 50 and actually hit the 50. That's a big dip for Bitcoin. You can see from swing high to swing low is a 30% dip for Bitcoin when that happened. So we go look at this time last cycle, just after altcoin season, Bitcoin dominance is falling at that purple line. Look, this dip so far is nothing compared to what was happening last cycle at this moment. We just looked at a 30% dip at this exact same moment last cycle. Right now, this doesn't even look like a dip. This looks actually like higher highs and higher lows on the Bitcoin chart. So there's like actually, even though it seems like there's pain, there's actually not much pain happening even here on the Bitcoin chart. Altcoins is a little bit different story, but there's bullishness within that story. That is for sure. So just to give you perspective, from that wick swing high to the $85,000 target is 17% move. Last cycle at this moment, we were seeing a 30% dip. Okay. So this, even if we get continued downside, and this is just for anybody that's out there, I'm not trying to offer hopium of any kind. Even though a lot of what I say sounds like hopium, especially in a bull market, especially during dips, this isn't hopium. This is just data. This move would be very normal. So if you ask me, if Bitcoin starts falling, and I hope it doesn't, I just want to go bull. I just want to go into a parabolic move with all of you. I like doing parabolic live streams. But if Bitcoin did start falling, if we lost 20-day moving average support, this is a busted pattern. We start falling. We're in the 90 range. 90 gets breached and we're falling towards the mid 80s. I just want you to know, I'm just going to be here hanging out, watching, still feeling incredibly bullish when I look at this Bitcoin zoomed out weekly chart. And I will still be just like, you know what? This is actually probably the best thing that could happen. And again, it's not hopium. This is what it is. So that's Bitcoin. If you look at total crypto market cap, I posted this, I think, right? Did I post this? Embrace the dips. We need them. So here's the chart that I just whipped up real quick. It's nothing special, obviously, but it's just look at last market, or look at last bull market. The bull market dips. This is a daily chart. It's hard to see, I know, but we're going to zoom in on that. And then look at the current bull market. So if you're an altcoin holder, this is the part of the live stream that is for you. And I'll put timestamps obviously as well, but here's where we are in the bull market. This gives you perspective. And this is exactly why I posted this the other day as well. Another 10 to 20% is fine with me. It's just because when you actually look at previous cycles, and this is last cycle, like just look at all those dips, look at all the red candles on the daily, look at all the volatility. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, right? Because all you kind of see is just upside, but there's pain in there. Like, especially look at last cycle at this moment, right around altcoin season, that purple line. The purple line in altcoin season last cycle just gives us good perspective of where we are this cycle. But look right after that. From swing high to swing low, 30% dip for total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. If we go and we look at where we are this cycle, look, just after altcoin season starting, Bitcoin dominance is falling there. Here's where we are. Is it a 30% dip? Let's see. Let's see. From swing high to the wick, it's 19%. Meaning, if we wanted to see 30%, we'd be hitting the 50-day. And that lines up even more with what I said in that one post, which is another 10 to 20%. It's fine with me, you know, and we're looking at like 840 billion there. But a move like that to the $800 billion market cap, again, Bitcoin's falling, sub 90, and altcoins, the altcoin market here is falling, sub $900 billion market cap. I'm telling you, I'm going to be sitting here and I'm just going to be like, you know what? It's all good. It really is all good. Everybody, we got, what do we have here? This is for the socials. We've got, look at that. 9,600 people on the live stream. That's because the people like the dips. They like the crypto crashes because they know what it means. It's the bull market launch pad. So, and if you're in the live stream, by the way, hit the like button. Always trying to get to that 10%. We're at like 5%. About to hit 10,000 in the live stream. That's pretty good for a crypto crash. Pretty good for a crypto crash. So let's talk about like some specific altcoins. I'll do some ADA. I want to look at Algo. The volatility on these charts is just, it's so good. It is exactly what I want to see, everybody. ADA at $1, just breached $1. Let's take a quick look at this. But look at this. And this is where I think I get the most warning. It's a shorter term thing. It's not a bull market, bear market type of warning. It's this daily chart. We've made our way to the bull market doors resistance. And right now you can see all of this overbought activity in a way in which it's like never seen on the daily chart for ADA. And then if we go to last cycle at this moment, you can see ADA is escaping, right? And then it's making its way up to the bull market doors. But look at the way that in which it did it. It got overbought, it cooled down. It got overbought, it cooled down. And then it broke those bull market doors. We've not had any of that type of momentum on the momentum oscillator. It's just been straight up parabolic and fast. So this is what gets me excited about something like an ADA chart, because that's last cycle. Those cool downs, those were setups for higher highs. And we've not had that on the ADA chart. And this was like my biggest point in the video. So here's what I like to see, everybody. Check it out. Look at ADA since basically a month ago, entering an overbought on the daily momentum oscillator and just hanging out there for a month. The fact that it's falling out of overbought is so good. It's a good thing. I want to see ADA go to $1.50. I want to see it break $1.30, the bull market doors, $1.25 area. I want to see it break 3. But truly, I think the only way these altcoins are going to do these things are by these moves. We need things to cool down. It's just the way it is. It's literally the way crypto is. It's the story of crypto. And what I do want to point out, just for anybody that's just like looking at the technical analysis aspect, is it's funny. ADA is exactly at $1. If you notice, ADA was getting kind of toppy right here, and you could see a couple of things happening. You have higher high on price right there, and then you have lower high on momentum oscillator, some bearish divergence. There's hint number 1, and this is how these things work from a technical perspective. And then hint number 2 was the stock RSI quicker moving momentum oscillator was obviously a leading indicator in this move. We hit oversold once, comes back up a little bit, starts trending back down. That was kind of a nice little signal right there that ADA's really struggling and needs to see a little bit of consolidation right there at that moment. And then what happened? We're getting the consolidation. Here's the deal though, when it comes to ADA charts. If you look at where this is happening, this is where it becomes just interesting, but also just bullish. Last cycle, at this exact moment, here's altcoin season. ADA was very choppy and very volatile. So we just demonstrated on Bitcoin as well as altcoin market cap, everything, that we had a really big dip in there. ADA saw volatility of 42% from swing high to swing low. But really what I want to point out to you is where all this was happening, right? There's one dip and there was actually another dip followed right after. This was happening right at the upper end. There was rejection at the upper end of the bull market doors last cycle at the exact moment going into the bull run. So at the time, just in case you're new and you haven't seen me cover this, this was ADA's lower high into the previous bear market. That was the bull market door entry for the bull market, right? So exactly the same, the swing high into the bear market, it's a lower high, is the bull market door for the entry of ADA this cycle. And look at this. Right after altcoin season, meaning Bitcoin dominance falling, ADA is hitting that resistance again. And if you just look at the chart, it's like, it obviously, especially if you were here, obviously, you know, not long ago, we're at $1.30. Now we just fell below $1. It's kind of like, ooh, this is bearish. I'm telling you, this is so normal. And especially when we're at this key resistance level that we've been tracking anyway, because look at ADA at the bull market door resistance last cycle. It fell 40+%. Were you here then? If you were here, did you fall into a state of bearishness because of that move? Was it all over? Looking back at the charts, was that it? After the 40% move at this moment, at the wick, this swing low of the wick, was that it? Or was this exactly the move ADA needed to propel itself back above $1 towards all-time high of $3? Exactly it. It's exactly the same thing that is right now. We need these exact moves to happen on these daily charts this cycle to propel us back to 2, back to 3, and then finally $5 plus. We need these moves. And so that is to say, this might not be the end of the ADA move. ADA has a lot of, not a lot, but it still has room to the downside. You can see we wicked down to around 90 cents. It's crazy. We wicked to 90 cents. If you go and we look at, I think I have, no, I guess I don't have one, but let's just look at a 4-hour chart on ADA. Look at that. Look how that played out. Didn't hit the target exactly, but target was mid 80s. Still very much in play. Maybe we'll hit that with, more definition, I guess we can call it. If ADA is going to keep falling going into tonight, be very aware of that and maybe even capitulate a little bit below 85 cents. But look at that target. We had targets to the upside. We were, I think, covering it very recently. I don't remember when the last Cardano video I did was, but we had targets to the upside and targets to the downside. And this is why we anticipate these things, because when the move starts happening, there's literally no surprise. One thing that is interesting, you see that the need for cool down on this ADA chart. It's on a 4-hour. I don't talk about moving averages a lot on a 4-hour chart, but you can just see the 20-day just crossing below the 50. The reason why it's relevant to me is just purely from like an illustrative standpoint. This is the first time that we've seen that like cool down on the moving average chart on the 4-hour all the way since the explosive move in beginning of November started. So that's something. This move for altcoins is just was needed. I know we all want to just see ADA and altcoins just go up and up and up and never cool down, but like that is unhealthy and it's not what we want to see. So maybe we need to see ADA just start consolidating. Maybe the target's kind of been hit. Maybe it goes a little lower into the mid 80s. But we want to see consolidation between the 20 and the 50-day moving average. Very simply, that is my bull market rule. No matter what chart, Bitcoin, ADA, whatever, And really, if you go look at the move from last cycle, that's essentially what ADA was doing. You can see it chopping below 20-day moving average in between the 50 and the 20. So a very normal move for ADA so far. We'll continue tracking to see what happens next. Want to go over to Algo. Let's look at some Algo, and I'll look at some charts as well if I see some of y'all. I have to, everybody out. I'm trying my best to do socials with Instagram and stuff. Look at this, 11,000. We got 11,000 people. You know why I'm doing that? Because 11,000 people, they care about the crypto crash because they want to see the parabolic gains. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm also tracking sentiment data in terms of my YouTube views. And I think I just posted about it earlier. Views are up, but we're not in like that parabolic, middle of the parabolic bull run viewership. And I think that's a very good sign for where we are in the cycle. I've been talking a lot about like, we're at the beginning of altcoin season, just kicked off. Obviously, anticipate the 20%, 30% dips, but we have a whole lot of bull market left. And I like seeing that the views aren't like, they're not at that parabolic bull market area. Simeon, the dump is just starting. Wow. Such a pessimist. But I mean, to his point, it's 100% in play. I mean, we just looked at it on ADA chart, look at it on a total crypto market cap chart. This chart might want to cool down between the 20-day and the 50. The 50 is down here around 800 billion. So he's very right. We could just be kind of like starting some type of new macro structure where it does keep falling before going higher. And this could test our patience as we round up Q4. There's no guarantee of that, but it's definitely possible. I'm sorry if we have spammers in the comment section, everybody. That's my fault because I'm not prepared with mods at all. Let me see. There we go. I got one. Local bottom. The thing, what's funny about these dips is like, I don't look at it anymore like, oh man, just, I guess people got a little bit bearish. People are selling. I don't look at it like that anymore. I think the exchanges are just completely in control of these cycles. I really just do. I think they're completely in control of these cycles. They do what they do. They're going to do what they do. We just have to bear it. Algo. Want to look at Algo. There's these altcoins from swing low. I mean, just look at the weekly chart. Oh man, this is a really beautiful weekly chart. I don't know if you're an Algorand bull. I don't know if you hold Algo or not, but this is great. And when we're looking at altcoin charts, whether you hold it or not, Algo is not like a bull market hold of mine, but I really enjoy seeing these charts. And there's different reasons why. Let me try to explain. Swing low to swing high, almost 500%. If you think a bull market is going to be made of, and then it hasn't broken all-time high yet, but you want to see it break all-time high, and you think it's just going to be multiple green weekly candles to that target, it's not. I think that's not how it's going to work. But if you want the target, man, look at Algo has some nice upside. But if you look at the target, we need red weekly candles. But here's why I like the chart a lot for any altcoin. This signals where we are in the cycle from just a very simple, Algo perspective, Algorand chart perspective. We get this move out of these like bear market lows. This just happened. That's not a bull market top indicator, okay? Especially when we're talking about altcoins. This just exited. We have a 20-week moving average right now, just getting ready to cross the 50-week moving average. That is bullish. That is not to say that won't come back, that won't come without some throwback now to that general area, whether we're on the daily chart or a weekly chart. Remember, whenever we're getting a 20-week crossing above a 50, A general rule of thumb is, yes, it's very bullish for like the more mid to long term, but this could also be an area in which algo wants to kind of consolidate above and pull into a little bit, these moving averages as that's happening. But that could be the very setup for the bull move. And just that general story of how the analysis is playing out, even this exact resistance at the 200-week moving average, that general story on a random altcoin chart plays into the broader story of altcoin season and where we are in the altcoin season. And that is to say, we're just getting started. There's a lot of bull market left. Drawing right back to CryptoCon and what he's saying, I would say we're further away from a Bitcoin top based on his data, the true strength index phases. And so he has this right here. This is, I'm trying to draw it all together. He has his own data right here in terms of cycles. Even something like a random algo chart plays into that very nicely. XRP, same thing with XRP. XRP just exited its insanely boring price action. And the same exact thing is happening from the moving average perspective. Look at this. All of these moving averages were just like hugging each other for months. Finally, they're starting to escape, and just what we want to see for XRP in a bull market is just separation of these moving averages basically in the bull market. This move, I think, is still ahead, and that move is going to take time, and it's going to take red candles. And that also plays into the fact that we might not be done consolidation. Crazy to see XRP chart. If we're looking at XRP, I remain, bullish on XRP, a very realistic target to the upside of like $8 to $9. A $500 billion market cap is very much in play, but pretty cool to see just the resistance at this range for XRP on the zoomed out. What's really good about it, and I've mentioned this in an XRP video before, you have the end of a parabolic crazy bull cycle. And by the way, this was like my first bull cycle. All the way back here. I had no idea what I was doing. I was screwing up all over the place. And then, 2018, I started my YouTube channel right around here. And of course, I started at the best time possible to just go through an entire bear market. But my point is, this move at the price where we're at on XRP right now was the end of a parabolic bull run. A whole bull cycle had already passed. Right now, it's at this exact area at the beginning. What does that say to you? So for XRP, it's like, man, where it was back here at 20 cents, that was the starting point then. Right now, no longer under the grasp of the SEC. Right now, this is the starting point, like $2.20, $2.25. That's next level bullish, especially as we get ready to go into some type of super cycle. What else? So we dropping more? Just covered a couple altcoins. There's definitely targets and room. There's room for Bitcoin to drop more, mid-80s, mid-80 target, just to get a glance. Here it is, mid-80 target. It's in play. If this turns into a busted pattern, really what I'm watching for, it's already 5 o'clock. It's already 5 o'clock. I'm waiting an hour and 52 minutes for the daily candle to close. Very curious to see where the daily candle closes, the confluent support area of this trend line, higher low trend line, as well as the 20-day moving average. So would very much like, just for a general throwback and then continuation to like $108,000, $110,000 target. Maybe the rest of this week we go green. I don't want to see a busted pattern, but it's in play, and mid-80s is the target to the downside. But again, it's such a zoomed in move when we're taking into consideration where we are in the cycle, what's happening with crypto right now. So that's that. Dog versus Pepe. There's no question. Not even a question. Y'all know it's dog on Bitcoin. 3:38 a.m. Man, get some sleep. If we were like in a parabolic bull run, I'd understand why you're awake, but we're crashing, man. Go rest. I'm just kidding. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging out. 3-something in the morning. What else you guys watching? I'm looking at the chats. I'm just trying to see. SHIB holder here. I respect it. I respect SHIB. I can respect it. I was talking to a friend earlier, and he was bringing up SHIB, and I was like, man, if you want to really look at a bullish chart, though, for meme coin with more upside, it's all about the dog. I just really think it is. There's only so much upside for the big blue chip meme coins. Dog. Let me just do some dog. I know there's a lot of dog haters, but everybody, I'm just saying, I've been talking about dog for a while, and it's looking pretty beautiful. It just keeps seeing higher highs and higher lows, and it's on Bitcoin. Let me show you this. Top exchanges that dog does not have. So it has no tier 1 exchanges. I'm just going to keep throwing out these gems, everybody, leading into meme coin supercycle. So it doesn't have Binance, Bybit, OKX, Coinbase, KuCoin, Kraken, nothing. Hold on. It looks like I'm getting an emergency text from my wife. Never mind. Doesn't have any of these tier 1 exchanges. Look at this. If each exchange listing has a cumulative 20% price impact, with dog at 900 million market cap, you end up with a value of $6.69 billion market cap. And actually, this reminds me, I'm going to post this right now. Tom Crown. He was just on a live stream. I asked him to do some analysis on dog, and he did it. And he was basically talking about like his targets to the upside. Let me change this chart. I want to go over here. There goes my live stream. My live stream dead. Did it again. Guys, if you can see me, press 1, please, in the chat. We live? Check this out. Targets. I just asked Tom Crown with 144,000 subscribers on YouTube. What's up with dog?
Sounds very, very good. I will personally place limit sells here for some of my dog.
$5.4 billion, $2.8 billion targets. I'll take it. I just asked. It's something with X. Every time I'm doing a live stream and I do something with X, it crashes my live stream. I hung in there. I think I'm still live. I think I'm still live right now. I'm not going back to X. Every time I open X. Am I live? Please tell me I'm live. We live. So he had some targets up there in the $5 billion range, $2 billion range. This is epic, especially if you're a longer term dog holder that's been here since even the swing lows. I mean, look at the swing low back here is like $170 million. Even to get to 5 billion, which is 5 cents, that's 2,800% gains right there. So if we're really considering why, a lot of dog holders are bullish, we're approaching 100,000 dog holders. Number 1 meme coin on Bitcoin, no tier 1 listings yet. We saw what other testnet meme coins have done in previous cycles, and even this cycle, it's not even $1 billion right now. I don't know. It's the most obvious play. I'm not trying to sell it, but I'm very much tracking this thing because it's too bullish. It just is. Thank you everybody for letting me know I'm live, because it's the worst. It's the worst. Do an analysis and live stream goes down. What else you guys looking at? What happened? Why is crypto crashing? I mean, I really don't know. I don't think, I was trying to just check news. I see biggest liquidation on the 1 hour, over 850 million Bitcoin longs liquidated. I'm on my phone. I'm reading actually a Tom Crown post actually just came up. I was just talking about him, but over 850 million Bitcoin longs liquidated. That's crazy. In an hour. That's insane. So as far as news go, I don't really see, I don't think there's any like fundamental world news that is causing this. I just saw a post here on my phone. I'm just looking real quick. Here's Tim Warren. I smell manipulation. Exactly. That's exactly it. So there you go. What happened? Why is crypto crashing? Longs are liquidated and likely manipulation. Probably why. But again, I digress. The dog chart. And by the way, the dog chart even now in this daily, just look how good this looks. I don't know if support at the 20-day will hold. There's a lot happening with runes right now on Bitcoin this week. I think there's going to be a ton more liquidity entering into the runes protocol and Bitcoin meme coins like Dog. I wouldn't even be surprised if this week Dog breaks $1 billion market cap without tier 1 exchange listings. But time will tell. We'll see. I just saw a post. WMT, please. I won't do World Mobile because they're a sponsor of the channel and a longtime collaborator with me. I don't like doing charts, but I want to mention them real briefly. They have an insane screening tomorrow. And I posted earlier today. I just watched so they have their documentary coming out tomorrow. I just watched the pre-screening today. It's insane, everybody. It is so good. So I don't know if you're into World Mobile, if you are into World Mobile, whatever, go follow World Mobile and just check this out.
As Hurricane Helene gets closer to making landfall, Helene will be the strongest hurricane to hit the U.S. in over a year.
They don't have running water, internet, and cell.
Just wait until you see this thing tomorrow. What they did, they straight up went in here. There's no project in crypto that is doing what World Mobile is doing. You got to watch it tomorrow. I'm just telling you. If you're in crypto, even if you don't hold World Mobile, just go follow them and look at what they're doing. And this is a real world example premiering tomorrow. It's next level, everybody. It's just really cool. I didn't plan to shout them out, but somebody asked about it, and that's what's going on right now. World Mobile is on a whole nother level. I don't see any other crypto project doing what they're doing. It's incredible. Appreciate y'all. Xverse app is pretty good. Xverse Bitcoin wallet. They have a pretty simple swap feature. What else you guys looking at? Let's see. Is this true? Are Solana meme coins getting toasted out there? This dip? I actually, I've been keeping an eye on Dog. I haven't been watching. Let me just go to Ski Mask Dog. Another meme coin. Dude, look at that even. So Dog wasn't too crazy of a dip. Ski Mask Dog just hanging out, not too bad. So maybe it is. Is it just Solana meme coins? Yeah, I even looked at some Cardano meme coins earlier. They weren't terrible. I don't know what this recent flash crash did to those. Somebody just asked. You think XRP will regain soon? It depends what you mean by soon. But, we just talked about at the end of the day, I would way rather, and this doesn't just apply to XRP chart. This is really speaking to crypto in general. And even if I just go Here's the daily on the total crypto market cap chart. You can see excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, but this applies to the XRP answer. So here's a daily. Would be nice to see daily support, really beautiful wick of support and a bounce, and then we're going higher tomorrow. It would be nice. But I really genuinely think if I change this to a weekly, let me paint it first on the daily. I think, and this isn't like a prediction, this is just me covering content for years now. I think it would be better if this chart, total crypto market cap, starts consolidating somewhere between the 50 and the 20. I mean, basically, what I said in this post. Where is that post? This was from 5 days ago. Another 10 to 20% is fine with me. That was just above $1 trillion. So in between the 20 and the 50. That is, I think, the best case scenario. And sorry, I'm the worst live streamer. It's freezing. I have people calling me. Let me get this. Let me just put do not disturb. I'm sorry. I really think that the best move, and I won't enjoy it if it happens this week, is continued downside in between the 20 and the 50. So that if you go to a weekly chart, finally, right? Because look at this weekly chart. We have, here's altcoin season worked in here, that purple line starting, Bitcoin dominance falling. But we have, how many candles is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weekly candles, 5 green weekly candles for a total gain of 100%, 101%. If we're kickstarting off the bull market, I genuinely would prefer a really nice big red candle at this point. I just would. That's just me. You can go look at last cycle. Look at last cycle around altcoin season. Look at all the green candles. We didn't get a nice, but look how necessary this red candle is right there. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. It's necessary. And that's a big red candle. If we measure that swing high to swing low, 30-some%. And that's the move. I like those types of candles in the middle of a bull market. I guess we should note what the momentum oscillator was doing when we got this red candle. This is altcoin market cap. There's a red candle. You can see got a really overbought RSI, starts cooling down. And then we go over to where we are right now. Check that out. I actually like seeing this. We get it not quite as overbought, not nearly quite as overbought. That's also a good sign, but overbought, cooling down. And what happened after that cool down back here? There's that cool down red candle. You can see it even fell below that moving average line on the RSI right there. You see that yellow line? Fell below it briefly, and then boom, another swing high. What's really cool about this cycle is we're getting a similar cool down on the RSI. We're not even in overbought anymore on the weekly RSI. And we have, I think, a better position now on the altcoin market cap. This is cool because I didn't really look at this earlier. For an actual higher high as opposed to a bearish lower high. So we get 1 week. We could even see more downside, everybody. This could be a worse red candle than it looks like right now. But we get a nice red candle in here. We are set up for continuation for the bull market. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm looking for. So whoever asked that XRP question, thank you, because it really helped, I think, bring into context the entirety of altcoins. So to answer the XRP question, maybe we get more downside this week. Maybe it's a couple weeks of downside. Maybe it's just straight up consolidation for a few weeks. Let the 20-week moving average pull closer before going higher. There's clearly a resistance level on XRP that it needs to break, and it needs some momentum to do so. How's it going to get momentum? On the weekly chart, it needs to fall out of that overbought parabolic craziness to go higher. That's just how crypto operates. I think I saw somebody say, pace yourself. Ben says it's looking really bad. I want to say, Ben, I disagree with you. I want to say it's looking really good. It's looking really good. Very bullish. It really is. And I know there's a lot more people, a lot more new people on this live stream from when I started, but the general theme of today's live stream is if you want to go higher, we have to see consolidations. We have to see dips. I had somebody in the comments for like the previous 2 weeks leading into this as I'm talking about dips and the possibility for downside. I had somebody in the comments that just kept calling me Danny Dip or something. And because I know it triggers some people that I'm bullish on dips, but it's literally the fuel to push crypto higher. So I want to visit ADA. I was kind of excited to do the live stream and talk about ADA because when I saw ADA was below $1, I was like, man. And then I went live and it kind of popped back above $1. But look, it's below $1 again. And, you know, people might not like that, but people might think that's bearish. But this is very normal. Swing high to where ADA is right now, 31%. It's a very normal move in a bull market. That's all I talk about because this is what crypto has always done. This is nothing new. So, yes. Man, we bleeding, but it's okay. Yeah, we don't have to say we like it. Like, I kind of do like it though. Because I have my targets to the upside. I'm just like, we're not going to get there if we're overextended and overbought. If we're overextended and overbought, ADA is not going back to $2 and $3. Like, it's going to need to capitulate and just crash at some point. So it's like, it's better to rip the Band-Aid off. That's why it's okay. Update. We got 14,000 people, 14,000, almost 15,000 people that care about the crypto crash because they know that's the only path to parabolic gains. I'm back on Instagram, everybody. I don't know if you know that or not, but like I had to reopen my Instagram because I had a scammer impersonator on there with I think 300,000 followers. They were killing it. And I had to open up Instagram because I had to create my Instagram. I don't like posting on there, but it's the only way I could get rid of them. So I'm over there. There's a link in the description if you're on the Instagram. Go follow me. I have to have a presence there for the scammers. So I'm trying my best to be like an Instagrammer. I genuinely don't like Instagram. Same with TikTok. But I'm really doing my best. It's the only way to fight the scammers. But yeah, me doing a selfie video on a YouTube live stream, an X live stream, it seems like good content, right? For Instagram? No? So ADA doing what it does, everybody, consolidating. Look at this. I mean, like clockwork. ADA below the 20, in between the 20 and the 50 in a bull environment. Bitcoin wicking below the 20, currently testing the 20, but wicking below the 20 and between the 50 in a bull market. Just look at this. This is exactly what we want to see. That's not last bull market, by the way. That's just exiting the bear market. Here's last bull market for Bitcoin. These dips, you see that? Look at that dip right there in Bitcoin. Pain. So we could even look at this current dip kind of like this. Man, Bitcoin's testing the 20. Oh man, it's testing the 20 again. Hopefully we get support and we keep going up, right? That's the hope back then. And then look what happened. It fell. So news for everybody, including myself, we can sit here all day and have the hopium that we're going to see the support at the 20. Oh man, look, support at the 20. Oh, we're bouncing at the 20. Let's go up from here. No, maybe it happens what happened exactly at this time last cycle. Boom, mid 80s, right? In play, normal. And then going back, I just want to go back even to cycles before that, just to show you how volatile it was back then. Swing high to that swing low. There's a 39% move. Swing high to that swing low. It's on the daily chart. It's a 40% move. Falling below the 20 and the 50, by the way, hovering above the 200. So the dip is we'll track support. We'll see what happens, but the dip is very normal. You guys doing good? What's the poll look like on this? I put a poll about like who's bearish and who's bullish. I want to see. What are we looking like? Is everybody bullish? What's the percentage? I'm trying to see it. I can't view it. Appreciate. I have a mod out there in the chats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yo, Tom, you inspired me. Your live, I was hanging out on your live stream, and then you just inspired me. Crypto starts crashing. I'm like, I gotta go do live stream now. Thanks for the dog coverage. I was just bringing your dog coverage up in my live stream. I really liked your targets, your dog targets. Everybody, Tom Crown, he has some nice dog targets. I mean, some people might view it as FUD. It was like around 2 billion and then 5 billion. But maybe those were just short-term targets. Maybe those weren't even bull market top targets. But Tom, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for doing the dog charts. I was really curious. Do I not have an Instagram link in my YouTube description? Oh shoot, I don't. It's not on there yet. I'll throw it in there after. It's in all my videos, just not on this one. I'll put it on there after. What a bummer. Newbies, don't be scared. This is a shake off. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. It is a shake off. It's a great title. Crypto shake off leads to parabolic gains. Crypto shake off leads to parabolic frenzy. That's a good one. What else you guys looking at? Are there any charts? I love these crypto crash live streams. You guys are focused. You're on it. You really are. Somebody asks, do I have my targets for ADA? I haven't done like a bull market prediction, but I have my general, I think maybe it was in my profit taking video. I'm not sure, but kind of like a general range in terms of the starting point is, listen, 500 billion, same with XRP. 500 billion is realistic for ADA. I don't know if you're familiar with what's happening with Cardano right now from Hydra, million transactions per second, to potentially being explored for US election, for blockchain integrity, multiple different things. Bitcoin, interoperability, it's going to be the backbone of Bitcoin DeFi. So much liquidity that's going to come into Cardano. But 500 billion's in play, right? So we're looking at like $14. That's the starting point for me. That's not my bull market target. To have a bull market target, I like to have like kind of an extreme target, but then have a more realistic conservative target. And I just really think the high area up here in the, $5 to $10 range is just a very nice target for ADA. And then everything up there, if it's like some blow off top, maybe it's above 500 billion. I don't know what the bull cycle will deliver for us altcoin holders, but that range right there, 200 some $billion swing high for ADA is 100% in play. But that's just the reason I have ranges is because I like to have ranges that allow me to, if I want to do some profit taking on the way up into the range, or when I get into a certain range, I want to move to BTC, preparing for a bear market. I like to have context and visualization. So for ADA, that's what it looks like for me. I've not done like a realistic Cardano price prediction, like an exact price prediction. I've not done it. I don't think there's much value in it. I think it could be, maybe it actually could be opposite of value, because people that are new coming into crypto might see me talking about a target. That doesn't happen. I think there's more value in just talking about, phases of a bull market, stepping stones in terms of price target. It's not one singular price target. We got a dog bowl in the house. What else, everybody? What else are we looking at? What did I see? I see a bunch of ADA and dog. Buy the dip. Look, Sneck listing on Bitpanda tomorrow, Dan. Nice job, Sneck. Way to lead the meme coin, the Cardano meme coin super cycle. For all the Sneck haters that say I never talk about Sneck. There you go. There you go. Polkadot. Do I have a Polkadot chart? I have a Polkadot chart somewhere. Is it dipping? Look, similar to Algo. Not as similar, but man, could be actually not financial advice, but every cycle, it's like there's always, and I just talked about this kind of in context to, I think, XRP. It feels like just yesterday, but it was obviously weeks ago before it broke out. But there's altcoins that take turns, go crazy, and then the others are doing nothing and people get frustrated. DOT might be one of those. Polkadot has a lot going for it from a fundamental level. And I'm just looking at this chart. I haven't looked at it, Polkadot. But just look at it. First off, taking into context where we are in the cycle, altcoin season, this purple line, Bitcoin dominance has been kind of starting to retrace. We might be at the very beginning of a cycle. Just looked at it comparative to True Strength Index data from CryptoCon over here. Many different converging bullish data points saying where we are in the cycle. We still have a lot to go in the bull cycle. When you look at a chart like DOT, this could be another, just like Algo, another illustration of that, even more so. Check this out. Algo, we saw Algorand chart. We saw, what do we see? We saw like exact resistance at the 200-week moving average. Let me just make sure. Yeah, there's Algo, 20-week moving average. We saw the 20-day or 20-week just about to cross the 50-week. Now, on something like DOT, we've not even had, look, the 20-week has not even gotten to the 50-week yet. We've not even had that move yet. We have a consolidation still happening above the 50-week. We have, DOT has not even broken this previous swing high back here in March. The reason why that's relevant is because, like, if you go and you look at something like ADA has made a power move above that area, that March swing high. So when you start seeing, and it's not a guaranteed thing, but when you start seeing charts like DOT right here, Polkadot, and you see it hasn't made that move yet, and we're in a period of short-term consolidation, which is good for all of crypto. Who knows how long it'll last? Maybe DOT comes back down to the 50 at like $6.50. But either way, it seems like this move is getting ready, right? So it seems like Polkadot has a nice breakout in store for itself. And these are good charts to look at. Like, this isn't me like giving financial advice about a Polkadot chart, but when you're looking at DOT, look, AVAX is another one, has not even broken the previous swing high back here in March. No guarantee, but maybe the time is coming for these charts to get a really nice move on the weekly, even a monthly chart, when and if crypto continues its parabolic move. I've seen a lot of people mentioning Cody in the comments. Again, I think Cody is so primed. It could be one of those altcoins that is just hasn't done it yet. Hasn't made that breakout above February, March swing highs. And that could be one that's getting set up, especially in terms of Cody. I know the team over there, I recruit for them in my recruiting firm, and they're just an excellent team, and they're working on awesome privacy tech and just a very fundamentally bullish project with a very bullish team. I think there's a lot of upside for Cody. So, because I've seen a lot of people asking about Cody. What else? I don't think the government tanked it. Hopefully we don't find out the government selling all their Bitcoin prior to Trump getting in there who wants to buy Bitcoin. That would be insane. don't think that's what's happening though. Look at that, over $1.4 billion in total crypto liquidations today. That's nuts. That's a lot. In the middle of a bull market though, you want to see it. It's necessary. Yep. I think it's a good thing for better position. So pullback is the next move. Pullbacks are important. Pretty sure most people understand that. Solana. Do I have a Solana chart? SUI? So interesting though. We just looked at Polkadot. We looked at Algo. We looked at, something like, what was the other one? AVAX. Like Polkadot, AVAX, they've not broken this previous swing high in March, and you see other charts have. I think those are good ones to keep an eye on. What has Link done? So Link just broke it. But yeah, this could be a leading indicator for those other ones. Where's Solana? I think I have a Solana chart somewhere. As much as I'm just not bullish from a fundamental perspective on Solana, I'm just not. As a value investor, I would not invest in Solana on the macro. The chart does not look bad, especially at the beginning of a altcoin season. It doesn't look bad. I mean, it's hovering at this high back in November 2021. It's getting some rejection off of it. What's pretty cool is this isn't like the only chart too that's testing such a critical level, right? We have Solana testing critical level, but really nice. It has some cushion down to the 20 and the 50 week if the dip continues for crypto to set up for a powerful altcoin season. That cushion is there to those 20 and 50 for the move to just an explosive altcoin parabolic move for Solana. But what's cool is you look at that chart, right? There's Solana going back to 2021. And then you look at, and by the way, you don't have to hold these altcoins, everybody. This data, I really encourage you, study all charts. Study what's happening on these charts. So often, they're leading indicators for the altcoins you do hold. I'm telling you. I'm just saying from experience, over the course of cycles, that has been the case. But there's Solana, and then you go and you look at something like XRP. Check out XRP. XRP has a similar type of vibe in terms of like testing critical macro resistance, but it's not from last cycle. It's actually from 2 cycles ago. That is interesting to me. And what I mentioned earlier in this live stream was the fact that we had this area being tested as a bull market high. Currently, the area is being tested and consolidated upon at an altcoin season beginning. So, wow, there's a lot in store for XRP. Very clearly illustrated on the chart. And then you go to ADA. I'm going to bring it up, not because it's testing an all-time high territory area just yet, but it's testing its own area, its own bull market doors, right? It's this bear market swing high to the 20-week. The upper end of that is the bull market doors. And it did the same exact thing at the same exact time last cycle, swing high to the 20-week moving average, lower high into the bear market, testing the same exact bull market door area before breaking out. And this is why I say $3 for ADA can come very quickly. It could be here by like January 10th. I think I put in a post because this is what the data says, a parabolic move like that. If you would have, and let me put that into context or give you perspective. If ADA last cycle, let's just say in this red weekly candle that you see here, right after altcoin season, ADA is consolidating 30%. If in that moment, I would have told you that from that 27-cent area, within 28 days, ADA would be breaking $1, you would have said I'm crazy. You would have said I would have gotten so many haters, right? Well, we're in this exact moment right here. Resistance at the upper end of the bull market doors. You can see resistance at the upper end of the bull market doors. The only thing is we're not at 27 cents. We're at 98 cents. And to put it simply. Yeah, maybe we get 2 weeks of consolidation. Maybe this week's red and next week's red. But if we take that move from last cycle, right? And then boom, can be back above. We get a similar power move. Really could be back to $3 in a matter of weeks. It just could happen. Can you have a look at, what is that? US, what is WSD? You want me to do a USDT chart, tether chart? So for people that are new to the live stream, what's your thoughts on current price? It's dropped. My thoughts on current price for ADA, and this applies to every altcoin, is so bullish, everybody. It's what we want to see. It's what we want to see. That's what I want to see, I should say. This is me. This is just me tracking my crypto journey, tracking the data, tracking the charts. I don't speak for you, but the move that we're seeing here is necessary. We've broken in a matter of weeks, ADA in particular, the 20-week, the 50-week, the 200-week. We have all this cushion for support now. We have the 20-week just crossing above the 50. Anytime we get a 20-week crossing above the 50, we anticipate throwbacks to those areas. I'm not saying we're going back to the mid-50s, but the fact that we're going to start seeing these moving averages pull closer to ADA is necessary for a dip, especially if we want a powerful altcoin season or a super cycle like many of us talk about. We want to see it happen, everybody. And we just looked at it on Algo. It's the same exact thing on a lot of these charts. It's not just ADA. Here's Algo, the 20-week crossing the 50. So very bullish. It's from my experience doing technical analysis, and I'm not like, I've just been doing data-driven analysis on my YouTube channel. From my experience, it's what we want to see. So what else? What else are y'all looking at? I see a lot of similar coins, a lot of blue chips in the chats. Yeah. I see somebody said that Wednesday will be crucial. Wednesday will be crucial. CPI data. Obviously, we'll see what happens with that. I haven't even taken a glance at like traditional markets. They're hovering out there on the weekly at all-time high. US dollar currency index on the weekly, a little bit of a pivot to the upside. We want to see this tank especially for a powerful altcoin season. I mean, general range of resistance here. Momentum oscillators look like they could be pointing, signaling some downside. This could be very good on the US dollar chart. Stock RSI would like to need this quicker moving momentum oscillator. Oop. That's what we want to see for altcoin season right there. What's up with Turbo? I saw on Tom Crown's live stream a lot of people talking about Turbo. I really don't know. I'm not. I saw a rumor of a listing. Is it already listed everywhere though? Like, what's the deal with Turbo? What's the story, everybody? That's the chart on. That's the chart on the weekly. Is it really listed already on like Binance, OKX? Here's the beauty. I'm going to pivot. I hope there's dog people out there. If you're a dog person, just smash the like button for me. I'm going to pivot to dog. Turbo, great. Maybe it's bullish. But are they listed on Binance Exchange? Are they listed on OKX? Did they pay exchange listing fees to these tier ones? Because the thing that I'm so bullish on about dog is it almost broke $1 billion market cap with no tier one exchange listings. And that's because Dog does not have a team. Dog does not have team allocation. Dog, the number one meme coin on Bitcoin, is fully distributed to the community and doesn't pay exchange listing fees. Yet they're going to cave because there's insane volume, record-breaking volume. I don't know who the first exchange, tier one exchange to list Dog will be, but they will be the smartest ones because the amount of user fees that they will generate from listing Dog alone and the amount of community that they will gain, community support, insane, next level, record breaking, unprecedented. Dog breaking $1 billion market cap without a tier one exchange. It didn't happen. It almost happened yesterday. And I'm giving away, I did a post on X like a few weeks ago. If it happens, if Dog breaks $1 billion market cap without a tier one listing, I'm giving away 100,000 Dog to somebody in the comments of that post on X. If you have done your research and you know the intrinsic value of your asset, you won't sweat this. DCA down. Very good perspective. Very good perspective. All right, I have to look up ICP. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a chart for ICP up. I haven't looked at that thing in like months, but a lot of people talking about it. So what's a good ICP chart? I don't even know. ICP, another one. Here's what I'm actually interested. So we can kind of throw that into the pile of, first off, from swing low to swing high, 333%. But notice how ICP has not broken this previous swing high back in, again, that's that March, February. I'm really kind of becoming curious now that I'm looking at some of these charts I don't really look at a lot. If you look at Bitcoin dominance chart, right? Signaling altcoin season, typically when Bitcoin dominance starts falling, right? Started falling. If we're at the beginning of an altcoin season, I'm kind of curious to see how we cycle through. And this is every crypto bull cycle. It is kind of fun to watch and look back on. Are we going to cycle through altcoins in terms of gains? We always say cryptos take turns. So this first phase of altcoin season, and ADA was certainly a part of it, the move out of the bear market lows, breaking the previous March swing high. And there were others, right? ADA was one of them. XRP was obviously one of them. XRP broke its last cycle high already. So there's those ones, but is there going to be a group like ICP where whenever this consolidation is done, and this is much needed consolidation across the space for every altcoin, are these going to be the ones that have a really nice solid breakout? I'm talking about 200, 300, 400% gains. ICP. And I'm not saying this because I'm like an ICP bull here. Y'all know. ICP, not Algo. What was the other one? DOT. There's one. AVAX. There's one. What was Link? Did Link? So Link is like kind of in that previous swing high area, but we can put that in there. Are these ones going to have they're going to have a really nice phase where they're moving in their own way? That will be very interesting to look at. So that's your ICP. Could be on a nice little bullish. Thank you, my friend. I see you out there. I just saw you out there. Thank you. You're such a help, man. God bless you. Thank you for helping me in these chats. I have one thing to say for my Instagram people. Look at this. This is a bull indicator. 16,000 people in the middle of a crypto crash. We are not bullish enough. We are not bullish enough. We're just not. So, man, I covered a lot of charts. I feel like that's pretty good. All in all, if we're looking at the total crypto market cap chart to really sum up what we've talked about, these moves are 100% necessary. And look at that, right above my video, 1 trillion. Look at that. You see that ticker? $1 trillion market cap. This is total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. We are just hovering around all-time high from last cycle. At this moment, last cycle, this is us hovering around all-time high last cycle. I really think there's more in store for this bull cycle than back here. We've talked about this. We've discussed other people thinking this too. We topped out early and weirdly. There was too much trash going on with FTX and Celsius and all that stuff. We are in a whole nother bullish environment, everybody. Likewise, we got this dip last cycle. We need these red candles. We just do. So even if we go lower right now, we fall below $1 trillion market cap. We fall into the $800, $900 billion market cap. It's, in my view, very okay. It's very bullish. We are in a brand new era for crypto. Might I remind you, now that we have way more people than we did at the beginning of this live stream, I will end with this for every single person watching. I was already bullish going into the cycle, but that was before we had a pro-crypto president in January 2025. US Bitcoin Reserve proposing to buy 200,000 Bitcoin a year. No crypto capital gains tax on the table. Elon Musk running a US department called Doge. Yes. Pro-crypto Congress. Gensler, he's resigned. MAGA going global. Record ETFs. It's just, there's too much going on. The supply shock, it is here, everybody. So the dips, necessary, important, hour and a half live stream. That's bonkers. I didn't even plan to do it. I was getting ready to work out and then I saw things crashing. But now it's time to log off. I appreciate you. Hang in there, everybody. Really, truly. For me, I'm embracing the dips. I'm the crazy one that likes the dips. I think they're necessary. We're here on the macro. If you're in the chat and you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I cover crypto news. I cover Bitcoin charts. I cover altcoin charts. And I genuinely appreciate all of you. So hit the subscribe, turn notifications on. And if you enjoyed the video, please just consider smashing the like button. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.